Oh my goodness gracious, when was the last time I reviewed a video game like Final Fantasy Type 0? Look, I wanted to review other video games, but I just never had the chance to do it. But now, this is the video game in which I can return to that. And plus it's Star Wars, guys. You gotta talk about Star Wars. Okay, so LEGO Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens is the newest game from the company TT Games and is also the fourth of the LEGO Star Wars series. You got the first LEGO Star Wars, which covers the mediocre George Lucas prequel trilogy, and then you got the second LEGO Star Wars, which is all of the original trilogy, and then lastly, the third one, which is all of the Clone Wars TV series. That is, if you don't include the complete saga as an actual game, because it's just basically 2 games in one. And now we get the fourth LEGO Star Wars game, in which we see a LEGO adaptation of my favorite movie of 2015, Star Wars The Force Awakens, in which I was highly anticipating ever since they dropped the trailer for that game. It was basically the very first teaser trailer of The Force Awakens, but added with that LEGO charm, but it was just enough for me to make me smile and be like, yeah, I want to play this game. So I got it the very first day, and I played it, and I was surprised the hell out of LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. It was so much fun. Just like all the LEGO Star Wars games, this one basically covers the entire Force Awakens film, but added with that LEGO charm, and which I just said a little bit ago. But this game does it masterfully in a way to where it was almost to a T on how The Force Awakens was shot, voice acted, just to give that player as if they're experiencing the film on a whole nother level. And when I say that you can literally experience the entire film, I truly mean that. I'll get back to that once I talk about the gameplay. When it gets to the cutscenes, you can tell that the creators put their heart and soul to recreate some of the iconic scenes from the film. From the camera angles, animation, each of the colors blending in with the environment, and the characters of The Force Awakens, there wasn't a single scene where it looked like they half-assed their way through. Also incredibly surprising, they got the actual voices of Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, everybody from The Force Awakens. Plus Mark Hamill to add in all the dialogue that he had in The Force Awakens, like the most lines in the entire movie, he was in there too. It surprised the hell out of me that they actually got Harrison Ford to reprise his role as Han Solo to add in the extra dialogue just like the rest of the characters. And you can tell that they're just having a blast with what they're adding. I remember I was playing a mission where you were preparing the Millennium Falcon and Princess Leia was like, we need rockets, we need this, we need Wookiee cookies. It's as if she saw the lines on her paper for the very first time and the creators just left it in there, like that little pause for that little extra humor. Everybody seemed to have a good time and it was awesome. Plus the game added real line delivery from the actual movie. Some sounded good, some didn't really blend too well, but if we're talking it based on that, then it was pretty okay. Now of course about 85% of the gameplay isn't from the movie. I mean, how would you have a full-on game if it feels piece by piece of The Force Awakens? And if you're familiar with any LEGO video game, then the gameplay is extremely familiar. It's sort of like the Call of Duty games. You already know the controls, but it's sort of like in a different environment, if that makes any sense. Each character has their own abilities, some more useful than others in some situations, is what the LEGO series absolutely strives in, because it gives you a feel on what character is more suitable for you. Each level, you would have to use every character you're assigned with, whether it's playing as Rey using her staff, Finn using his grappling hook, Chewbacca for his explosive mines, and much more. There's so much to it where it would take too much time to explain on what each character can do. Also, collecting mini kits to build little LEGO ships, red blocks for the extras, and collecting studs to unlock characters, it's all there. But there are some new things that they added. For like, let's say your character gets ambushed by a certain enemy, and then your character would automatically get behind something and then shoot their way through to progress through the level. For some reason, I thought it kind of took of what Gears of War did with their combat system, but when it gets to that aspect of the game, it's not a complete copy, but you do notice the similarities. I mean, it's still fun and engaging gameplay to experience in a LEGO game, and it's nice to see that they're trying something new with their series. But one aspect that absolutely blew me away was the free roam and the free play. Sometimes I find myself exploring these worlds than playing the actual story. It's another reason as to why you experience Star Wars The Force Awakens on a whole nother level. Sometimes you can explore the Resistance base on Dakar, the Wasteland on Jakku, or explore near Maz Kanata's castle on Takodano, or land on Starkiller base, or board the Millennium Falcon. Each level has their own secrets and extras you can get. They added the option where you can actually explore these worlds and you play these certain missions, whether you're a droid or Resistance or First Order character, which again adds the option of this game making you try out every single character for these missions, and every mission that I have played so far, it's extremely fun. Plus being able to free roam these worlds, it gives the whole purpose of the mini kits an actual purpose than just unlocking them just to unlock them. You can actually build the ship of what the mini kit has built, and you're able to hover around and get to certain places faster, considering the LEGO characters themselves don't really run that fast. Before in LEGO Star Wars games, you weren't able to do that, but now that you're able to unlock ships by finding pieces in the main stories or the side stories, there's just a lot of ships to unlock from. Mostly what I love about roaming around is that you can actually listen to the John Williams soundtrack that he actually did for The Force Awakens. It just makes his soundtrack so much better. Hearing the Finn's Confession soundtrack playing in the background when I'm exploring Takodana is just all worth it. This game also adds to the lore of The Force Awakens by expanding each character's side story by a lot. There was about 4 or 5 that I can remember. It expands how Lord Santeca gets the map to Luke Skywalker and how Han Solo and Chewie captured the Rathtars. It's just little stuff like that. But it's the little stuff like that that makes the universe of what The Force Awakens has already built even bigger when you're playing these certain missions. It just makes those characters a lot more interesting than I thought. Now, when it comes to the free play, that's when it improves by a lot, because I remember in previous LEGO Star Wars games, whenever you choose like a free play mission, you would choose 6 characters or something like that, and you're stuck with them until you're done with that level. Thank God the LEGO Force Awakens changes all of that, because you can choose to be any character whenever you want during a mission, and it just makes it a lot more easier to find the extras in the level. It may seem like you're stuck with the characters it gives you when you start a mission, but let's say you want to change them right there. It gives you that option to change it right then and there. So basically what I'm saying is that you're paired up with every single character that you have unlocked or bought. It just makes the replay value off the charts when you're finding the extras in each level. And I would say the only thing I have against the game, is this is really nitpicking for a video game, is the sound editing and how they mix the actual lines from the movie into the video game. And I have mentioned this before, is that sometimes it doesn't really sound too good. Sometimes it will be really quiet, and then just some random ass time it will be extremely loud. Plus, when I'm roaming around and I'm listening to the John Williams soundtrack, it doesn't give me the option to increase the already quiet score up a notch. I can barely hear it. All you have is the option to turn it on or off, and for lovers of the Force Awakens soundtrack like myself aren't going to be too happy with that, and I wasn't either. And just like any other LEGO video game, once you get to the 100% unlocked, you get to the point where you're like, okay, what do I do now? Now that you unlocked all the extras and you played all the missions, there's not much to do after. It's a shame that you've spent all this time on this game and you get to that point. I mean, that's the only problems I had with this game. But overall, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens is another great LEGO video game that's great for both kids and adults. It captures the film very well with recreating some of the scenes from the movie and adding side stories to the characters. The gameplay is great and smooth. There's tons of characters to unlock. There's a lot of extras you can find. But if you're not a fan of the LEGO video game series, then I don't think that this is the game that's gonna win you entirely over. But for me, as a Star Wars fan, this game does the movie justice. But I say, if you want to play LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, I say just wait till it gets to a discount price of $45. 45 bucks and you'll have a blast with it. Okay guys, have you played LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, and what did you think about it? And what is your favorite LEGO video game series? Whatever it is, leave it down below. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that social media shit down below. Keep in contact with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, may the Force be with you.